It was supposed to be a quiet recovery. A routine check-up, perhaps. But what was meant to be just another medical precaution spiraled into the unthinkable. According to close insiders, George Clooney's condition took a drastic and sudden turn, sending those closest to him, and fans around the world, into a spiral of anxiety and heartbreak. What started as a controlled medical observation in a private wing of a high-security clinic has now become a fight for survival. One eyewitness report claims that at the very moment doctors realized George was unresponsive, a haunting silence fell over the room. Amal Clooney, who had not left his side for days, was seen clinging to his hand, whispering his name in desperation, only for her to collapse moments later, overcome by the weight of fear, exhaustion, and heartbreak. Amal, known to the world not just as George's wife but as a brilliant human rights lawyer, has always embodied elegance, strength, and grace under pressure. But nothing could prepare her for this. In the hospital corridor just outside the intensive care unit, her legs gave out from under her. Witnesses say she fell to her knees, trembling, barely able to speak, as her family and a team of doctors rushed to support her. This was not a staged scene. This was not for the cameras. This was raw, real emotion, the kind that shatters you from within. Amal, the woman who has stood in courtrooms battling for justice in war-torn nations, now found herself fighting a personal war she never imagined, the possibility of losing the love of her life. According to those closest to the situation, it was a nurse's whisper that started it all. "He's not responding," she reportedly said to the attending physician, sparking immediate concern. Monitors were checked, medications adjusted, emergency staff called in, but the room remained eerily quiet. George, who had shown signs of minor recovery earlier in the week, suddenly slipped into a dangerous, unresponsive state. The medical team has remained tight-lipped, refusing to release specific details about his diagnosis or prognosis. But what is clear is that the situation has gone from serious to critical in a matter of hours. As news spread among their inner circle, family members were quickly escorted into the hospital under heavy privacy protocols. It is said that George's sister, close friends, and even longtime Hollywood colleagues were allowed brief moments at his bedside. One source said, "It felt like a goodbye. Security has been doubled, phones confiscated, and no press is allowed anywhere near the clinic. This is no longer just a health scare, this is a private, emotional vigil being held for a man who has given so much joy to millions, and whose fate now hangs in a terrifying balance." From the moment George and Amal first appeared together, the world was enchanted. Here was a man known for bachelorhood, swept away by a brilliant, compassionate woman. Their love wasn't just red carpet glitz, it was real. They've navigated fame, family, and global responsibilities together, always showing unity and deep affection. Now, that love is being tested in the most harrowing way. Amal's collapse wasn't just from fatigue, it was from watching the man she loves slip away right in front of her eyes, unable to stop it, unable to bring him back. Those who have seen them together say theirs is a bond rarely seen in Hollywood, a connection that now serves as a lifeline as George remains unresponsive. Few actors have achieved the level of respect George Clooney commands, not just for his work, but for his integrity. He's won Oscars, led blockbusters, and lent his fame to causes that matter. But even more than that, he's a symbol of charm, class, and conscience in an industry often plagued by scandal. To imagine a world without him is simply unthinkable. Colleagues have described him as the glue, the soul of the room, and one of the good ones. The thought that he may not come back from this fight is shaking Hollywood to its core. Doctors have given no public update. Amal remains by George's side, regaining her strength just enough to return to the room that now holds more silence than sound. There are whispers that a top international specialist may be flying in. There's hope, but there's also a dark cloud of uncertainty. Will George pull through? Will Amal find the strength to keep going? Will we see a miracle? Or are we witnessing the closing chapter of a life that changed millions? Moments like these remind us that behind fame, fortune, and global recognition, celebrities are just like the rest of us, human, vulnerable, mortal. George Clooney is more than a movie star. He's a husband, a father, a brother, a friend. And right now, he's a man fighting for his life while the woman who loves him most cries out in silent agony at his bedside. Let this moment remind us to cherish our loved ones. To never take time for granted. Because no amount of fame can shield anyone from the fragility of life. If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel and turn on all notifications. We will keep you updated as this story develops. This is more than celebrity news, it's a story of love, pain, and the fight to survive. Let's stand together, sending strength and support to George, Amal, and everyone who loves him.